Okay, Christy Mattoon with Mind Rewire here. I am coming to you today at the request of a client who was wanting a little bit more on how to clear daily stress and clear issues as they happen during the day. That didn't help much, did it? Let me turn that one back off. And so what we're talking about here is how to use a whole brain state, something that I talk about a lot, and how to use it in order to clear specifically stress from a day, right? From your daily grind. So whole brain state, for those of you who know what one is, we're going to roll back through that really fast. For those of you who don't, so you'll understand what I'm talking about. A whole brain state is basically crossing midline of your body, putting your brain in a state where both hemispheres become more useful to you. If you think of it like you're working out and you're doing a dumbbell curl or a bicep curl, and you're just, both arms on either side of the body, and you're just kind of moving and using, your brain has to search for stability inside your body. So using your muscles. When you're doing that exercise, muscles in the back have to turn on, turn off. Muscles in the front have to turn on, turn off. And as you're doing that exercise, your body becomes stable, moving at whatever rate you're moving. If you were to reach out and all of a sudden punch your arm across midline of your body, right? Cut your body in half, top to bottom, your brain has to figure out how to restabilize. It has to do something in order to keep you standing upright. So muscles have to turn on, turn off, front and back, and do whatever it takes to keep you standing upright and keep you stable. It happens, it turns out, the same way with thoughts, with beliefs, with memories. If you cross midline of your body while you're thinking about a certain thing, your brain has to do something different in order to stabilize your system. If you are thinking about a specific trauma, an issue, an event, no matter what the thing is, and you cross midline, if you sit there long enough, you're going to end up with a different result. You'll either come to peace to it, it'll rev you up before all of a sudden it brings you back down. But eventually you'll find yourself in a situation where you're either not remembering it as hard, the emotional trauma doesn't seem as it's as difficult. And I get different responses from everybody as far as what they feel or how they think it's working inside their system. But if you stay with it long enough, and I'm talking long enough, meaning like 2 to 4 minutes, you'll find a difference in feeling inside your body. What that feeling relates back to is, of course, the chemical composition of the trauma at the time that it happened. So what chemicals came into your body at the time of the trauma? Were you in a stressful situation? Were you highly, in fear? Were you afraid for your life? Or were you laughing and everything was fun and it was a light situation? Difference in chemicals, right? So we're talking cortisol, adrenaline versus oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine, those kind of things, okay? So it's a difference in the way your body's feeling, a difference in the way you've either up-leveled those chemicals or they've crashed in your system. Okay, so whole brain state. You're thinking about a specific issue. You cross your feet. I was taught to do this many different ways, and I was taught to do it in many different circumstances. But the way I do it now is I just tell people to feel their feet. So you're going to cross your feet and then just notice your feet, thinking about the issue or the thing that you're working on. And then take them apart and cross them the other direction. What you're looking for is the direction that feels the best. Okay? You can do the same thing with your wrists. You're going to cross in one direction, feel your hands, notice what it feels like. You can even lightly press into it. You'll get a feeling, you'll get a sensation. Go the other direction, same idea, press lightly, just notice what you're feeling. Go with the direction that feels the best. Okay, so basically that's how you put yourself into a whole brain state. Okay, what that does for you is it causes your brain to make your body resituate and stabilize to the thing you're thinking about, the emotion you're feeling, the trauma you had, whatever the thing is. If you sit there long enough, it'll start to resolve in your system because your brain is having to stabilize to it, okay? Make a little bit of sense? So what we were talking about here, and this was meant for one of my clients, so I am really grateful to her for asking me to do this because I think it'll be helpful for a lot of people. What I do when I go to bed every night is I clear the day, the whole day. Good, bad, indifferent, I don't care. I'm clearing my day out. So whatever happened, if it had any air of stress or any air of cortisol, adrenaline in it, it's not following me into tomorrow. Sounds like a pretty good idea, right? So what you do is you go to lay down, do all your stuff you normally do before you go to bed. This is the last thing you do before you go to sleep. You're going to lay yourself down. Think about your day backwards. So you're going to walk backwards from the moment you lay down all the way through your day till you first got up in the morning. And in a second, I'm going to tell you what I do when I get up in the morning. But you're going to go all the way through it backwards. Once you get to the beginning of the day, treat that like it's going to be a video loop, okay? So you've got that all kind of in there. Cross your ankles, cross your wrists, find the direction that feels the best on both. Relax yourself in, close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and keep thinking through your day backwards. Good, bad, indifferent, throw it all in there. And let it resolve. Usually I fall asleep before I notice anything. Like that just pretty much puts me to sleep. Okay? So you can do that kind of idea however you want to. If you get stuck in a situation, if something really bad happened during your day, stay wherever the stuck is until it clears, and then you can get all the way through the day. So you're going to treat it like it's a big loop, and it's going to keep going around and around and around till you either fall asleep or it resolves to a state of peace. And you just feel, if nothing really happened, the day was pretty good. It wasn't a horrible day. You can still do the same thing. And what you would do in that tense is you would be in gratitude. If I had a great day and it was totally wonderful, I would just be laying there, tagging everything through my day with gratitude. If there was an issue that came up or something that happened that caused me some stress, I'm going to get rid of the stress first by thinking through my day backwards, let it unwind, and then get grateful. Sit there in gratitude. Like I said before, I normally fall asleep first, but I normally wake up in gratitude. I normally wake up talking to God. I normally wake up sometimes with a song in my heart or in my head. I'm usually talking to myself or to God. And I really don't talk about that too much to anybody. So that's just how I wake up. And I think it's because I trained my system that way. I literally trained myself by going to sleep with something good inside my heart and something good inside my head to wake up feeling good. Okay, so that's kind of one of my little tricks. The next thing you're going to do, the other way you're going to use this, is you're going to wake up in the morning. Once I wake up, I'm already talking to God. I'm already doing my thing. However you wake up, I guarantee you I didn't start that way. When I first started trying to get myself lined up and get all this situated, I would wake up like a lot of times actually angry. Like I would wake up really angry, having dreams about all kinds of weird stuff with my jaws clenched and the whole nine. What I figured out to do was to set my day up. So I started following the likes of like Rewire and some of those kind of people. And he would always say he'd get up and do all these gratitude statements. Oprah Winfrey's another one, gratitude statements. And I'm like, that's just a really cool idea. So I started doing that and I started feeling better. What I started doing then was before I even get out of bed, I would start talking to my feet. And I would tell God to point my feet in the direction that they're supposed to go and, give me something good to walk towards. So I did that for the longest time. And then I all of a sudden realized, well, if I'm putting my nighttime into a whole brain state to desynchronize the day and get rid of all the stress, why don't I put my daytime into a whole brain state and plan my day? So now what I do, I'm still laying in bed. I'm just about to get up. I cross my ankles, I cross my arms, I get into my whole brain state, and I plan my day with gratitude and thanksgiving and a joyful attitude. And I raise that level of feeling as high as I can get it into my system. I find my whole brain state and I start thinking through the day. What am I going to need to do today? Right? I've got X and Y and Z and I don't know, whatever your thing is, I got to go to work. Think through your work day in a whole brain state with gladness in your heart. And just notice what happens different. Notice what feels different. And then you go through your day, right? Stuff's going to happen. Life's going to happen. It always does. Notice if your day's a little bit better than normal. right? You go to bed at night. Here we go again, back into a whole brain state. Cross everything over, go through your day backwards, desynchronize the day. I think this is the best way I've ever seen to not carry the stress from a day forward into the next day, because that's honestly the last thing we want to keep doing. That's how you build neuroplasticity, negative neuroplasticity, and build stress into your life, right? It's the stress that seems to follow us. So that's how I take care of that. I hope that helps. Blessings and peace. I'm not seeing who's watching, but thank you for being on. Thank you for the like, whoever gave that to me. Thank you so much. This is Mind Rewire. I'm Christy Mattoon, and I will see you again shortly.